We're driven by the search for better. But when it comes to hiring, the best way to search for a candidate isn't to search at all. Don't search, match with Indeed. Indeed is your matching and hiring platform with over 350 million global monthly visitors, according to Indeed data, and a matching engine that helps you find quality candidates fast. Ditch the busy work. Use Indeed for scheduling, screening, and messaging so you can connect with candidates faster. Leveraging over 140 million qualifications and preferences every day, Indeed's matching engine is constantly learning from your preferences, so the more you use Indeed, the better it gets. Join more than 3.5 million businesses worldwide that use Indeed to hire great talent fast. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/Blue Wire. Just go to Indeed.com/Blue Wire right now and support our show by saying that you heard about Indeed on this podcast. That's Indeed.com/Blue Wire. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? You need Indeed.
This podcast is sponsored by Talkspace. You know when you're really stressed or not feeling so great about your life or about yourself? Talking to someone who understands can really help. But who is that person? How do you find them? Where do you even start? Talkspace. Talkspace makes it easy to get the support you need. With Talkspace, you can go online, answer a few questions about your preferences, and be matched with a therapist. And because you'll meet your therapist online, you don't have to take time off work or arrange childcare. You'll meet on your schedule, wherever you feel most at ease. If you're depressed, stressed, struggling with a relationship, or if you want some counseling for you and your partner, or just need a little extra one-on-one support, Talkspace is here for you. Plus, Talkspace works with most major insurers, and most insured members have a $0 copay. No insurance? No problem. Now get $80 off of your first month with promo code SPACE80 when you go to Talkspace.com. Match with a licensed therapist today at Talkspace.com. Save $80 with code SPACE80 at Talkspace.com.
What's going on, everybody? Happy Thursday. Welcome back. No Neil today. That's okay, though. He picked up a shift last minute, so no problems with that there. And it's just going to be me, myself, and I today. So that's all good. Hope everybody's having a great week so far. It's still effing cold up here in Sudbury, Ontario, but nothing wrong with that. That's okay. I'm very much looking forward to. I totally turned off this power bar here for whatever reason. I think. Yep, I did. Yeah, I mean, looking forward to. I'm heading out to Calgary in what's today, the 23rd. So 2.5 weeks I'll be there for about a week and a bit, which is nice. Heading out there with my dad. Going to be skiing a bit, and we're heading down to Banff, and we always go to Lake Louise, which is good. Curious if anybody's ever been to Radium, by the way, Radium Springs. It's always a nice little trip and like a little break into all the skiing that we do. It's a nice little hour and a bit trip out to BC, but it's a cute little town. Go and have lunch, and then you go to the hot springs and you chill and drive back. And it's a nice drive, just to kind of relax and enjoy the views and all that. So I'm looking forward to it because I didn't really have much of a break at Christmas time. It was kind of go. With World Juniors and all that fun stuff, but I'm very much looking forward to this little kind of getaway. It's my Christmas a little bit, so I'm looking forward to it. We booked tickets to San Jose and Calgary. I think that's on a Sunday, if I'm not mistaken. It was the only time that we could really make it work, but can't wait to be at the Saddle Dome again on the Sunday of Sharks and Flames. So that'll be good. But let's dive right into it. No more of that, eh? A lot of news actually coming out recently in the last 24 hours, Flames-wise. Having a bit of a break here these last 5 days. They're going to be playing tonight against Buffalo. Note that Kevin Adams is going to be probably in the building tonight. Maybe some conversations will be taking place with him and Conroy about Dylan Cousins. More on that. Something might come of it. Something might not come of it. But I'm curious to see if there's going to be any sort of conversation that takes place tonight. But still a big game. You got a chance to continue to extend the lead here in the wild card race. So big game tonight, but lots of news coming out of Calgary here in the last 24 hours. And the biggest one, I think, in the last 24 hours or so is the Flames did place Walker Duehr on waivers, and unfortunately he gets claimed by the San Jose Sharks as of yesterday. So sucks a little bit that he gets sent down, because I actually happen to like his game recently. I think what Ryan Husk is trying to do is spark this fourth line a little bit, because there hasn't really been a whole lot of juice to this fourth line in recent memory. So it sucks, because they wanted to bring him. I imagine like he would have came back up a little bit, and you try to spice things up, but it's unfortunate. I thought that he for the most part, he had like one good stretch back in the 2023 season where he had 10 games and he had like 7 points or whatever it was. But yeah, it's a little unfortunate that he gets taken, and I think San Jose is going to really like him. But if we're talking about a guy that seemingly just, he was always up and down, right? And I was seeing on socials again where people were just upset about the fact that he got claimed. And it's like, all right, well, you got a lot of pieces to fit into the puzzle here on this fourth line. The fourth line really hasn't been doing anything since, I think, December 1st is what the stats were saying. So they had to change things up a little bit. And, it was unfortunate that he gets claimed. I wish him all the best in San Jose, but I don't think that he was part of the plan necessarily going forward in the future. So that's why they kind of took the risk a little bit, and he gets claimed. And you also wonder too about when Peltier, and then of course Schwink, who got claimed on waivers as well. When Peltier got put on waivers, I'm shocked that nobody got him. Like, that would have been a huge loss for this team if he did get claimed. But luckily now he's finding his way into this team here, and at least in top 12 and getting some good minutes. But yeah, it's a bit unfortunate at the end of the day. But on the flip side now you're getting Clark Bishop, who's getting called up to play in tonight's game. So Rooney tonight is a healthy scratch. I might as well bring up some of the lines for tonight and let you guys know, because the lines were actually just dropped probably a couple of minutes ago. Thank you again to Pat Steinberg for breaking this to us. Wolf's going to get the start tonight. Again, Clark Bishop's going to be in place of Kevin Rooney, who Flames fans have loved ever since December 1st because he hasn't really showcased, let's say. Bishop's going to be playing alongside Peltier on the fourth line with Lombard. Rory Kearns is going to get a chance to play with Sharon Govich and Kuzmenko, which is very interesting. So I think they're testing this out to see how this goes. I don't hate it at all. I think that's probably, for me, okay, everything else stays the same, by the way. Kadri, Postel, Huberdeau, Coleman, Backlund, and Coronado. I like this line in the sense that all three of those guys have an opportunity to go off, right? Kearns, who's been putting up points in his last couple of games, he's had a great start to his call-up from the Wranglers. Great start for Rory. Playing alongside, now he's going to get some big boy minutes here. Now you're playing alongside Sharon Govich. Maybe they found something in these last couple of days. Watching these guys play together, they might have found something tonight. They really liked, apparently, Peltier playing alongside Lomberg. So, again, it's not necessarily a demotion for him. It's just, where does this fit for him, right? You're probably going to see the same amount of minutes between lines 3 and 4, right? And then you're going to get Bishop, who's going to play center. I don't hate it, because you need something to change. And he's actually had not a bad start to the AHL season up to this point. Ryan Pike mentions Bishop's been having a really nice season, 33 points in 39 games, and the current AHL leader in game winners. Versatile forward that can play center or the wing. He's also 28, so it's not the end of the world if he's on the NHL roster, but is an occasional scratch. I like it. I actually like it. I think he would fit more well into this lineup right now than what Kevin Rooney's been able to do, because he hasn't been able to produce, hence why he's a healthy scratch tonight. And I'm totally okay with that. I'm excited to see what Bishop can do tonight. And again, familiarizing himself with Peltier and also with Lombard. I actually kind of like that fourth line, and I'm curious to see how they're going to generate tonight. Ball and Anderson, Uyghur, Miromanov, Joel Hanley, another scratch tonight, bringing Miromanov back into the fold here with Bean and Pahal and Dustin Wolf getting another start tonight. So unfortunate that Duehr's gone. I like the fact that Bishop's going to get the start tonight here at center. And again, like he's a very versatile center, which is good to see. And maybe he kind of fits in here a little bit with another kind of stingy Lomberg here and Peltier. And this is a very different fourth line because this fourth line could pop off all of a sudden, right? And I think the key tonight for the Flames is they want to play matchups with the Sabres. They believe, in my eyes at least, that third and fourth line, anytime that they're out there, they're going to bring them right out there for it. And I think they can match up better than what the Sabres have to offer in their bottom six. This could very well be a bottom six type matchup tonight where, you're going to get your top two lines here. Coronado playing top 6 minutes here, along with the rest of the crew there. I really believe that if they can hold the fort in this top two, I think the bottom six could have a real effect tonight in this game. It would be interesting to see, I don't really know what the bottom six for the Sabres looks like, but I'd be very curious to see what it looks like because I think this bottom six might be the telltale of the story tonight where, they might be able to match up better than what the Sabres have to offer. So I'm curious to see how that goes. And, again, it's a great rest for Dustin Wolf, a game in which, you can extend your lead in the wild card here. You're healthy. You're at home. I'm very interested to see how this actually works out for the team. So good for Clark. I'm happy he's up, and I wish Walker Duehr nothing but the best. So that's kind of the lineups for tonight. I don't know. I mean, this is a toss-up because the Sabres did give the Canucks a good run for their money. I think the Flames need to bounce back from the loss in Buffalo a couple of months ago. They had a terrible game against the Sabres. It was a late afternoon game on a Sunday, and I think they ended up falling behind super early in the game, like 2 or 3-0. Tried to crawl back, and I think they ended up losing in overtime. So they don't want to be behind the 8 ball tonight. They want to be in front of it, of course, and I'm curious to see how that goes. So, yeah, that's your quick lineups for tonight. We'll have some other news a little bit later on. I got some fun things to show you guys as well too. Being in Ontario and being exactly where I am, I have the fortunate situation of watching one of our prospects tomorrow night, and I'll tell you why. Vladar news. That was the other thing I wanted to bring up today. Not going to be a super long episode, but I definitely wanted to bring this up. So, because this was passed around a little bit on socials, and I wanted everybody's kind of take here. So, Dan Vladar's value for the trade, for any trades, is kind of set, right? So, again, Breadman here bringing out all the news coming from Eric Francis, who's on Sportsnet 960, said that there's no market for Dan Vladar, and he thinks the Flames have been offered a 5th-round pick for him at best. So, here's my take on it. And I think it's actually a good thing. So let me explain this. Right now, there's no teams in desperate need of a backup goaltender, of a goaltender in general. We'll see how long the long-term situation is for Markstrom because he did get hurt last night. We'll see how that looks, right? Outside of that, Carolina doing their little goalie carousel. Nobody's really eyeing for a goaltender at the deadline this year. With Vladar and his value being at basically a 5th-round pick is what Eric's saying here, you might want to hold on to it until the deadline, right? There is no need to trade him. There is no value to trade him. You're going to get a 5th at best, right? So the good thing now is that you can wait between now and whenever the deadline is, beginning of March, to see if any teams all of a sudden, God forbid, get a goaltender hurt long-term. And if something like that happens, Calgary could be waiting there in the wings going, hey, how's it going? We got somebody. And the value for that might go up because Conroy would be holding all the leverage to that trade. Is it going to be a massive, significant one? Probably not at the end of the day. You might at best get a third if you're lucky. If a team is desperate, that might be best case scenario. But I think what they're going to end up doing is they might just hold on to him, right? And if that's the best that you're going to get is a fifth, right? I would honestly just hold it, right? There's no real rhyme or reason. He's still a good, viable backup goaltender. You don't want to take, Devin Cooley away from the Wranglers. And it's been working fine this year. You're getting Wolf, who's playing more minutes now because he's your number one starter. And you're getting Vladar, who's playing, true backup minutes, right? That's just how it's going to be moving forward. So I don't hate it. I think that, if that's where his value's at, I'm not surprised at all. But just hold on to him because you never know, like, if a team ends up really desperately needing a goaltender and they can come along and say, oh, well, shit, now we need one all of a sudden. We'll hold all the leverage and say, well, actually, instead of a fifth, it's going to cost you a third now because we hold the cards here. So, and if they decide that they want to get a pick out of it, then great. I just don't think that if you don't need to trade him, don't worry about it, right? Like, he's still a good backup goaltender in this league, right? I would rather, whatever, if you end up losing him in free agency, okay, fine. But at least you haven't burned any bridges, right? Coming to free agency. If he wants to explore somewhere else, then he can, right? And he wants to try to find somewhere else to be a number one starter, he can. And I think he can compete still for one, right? He's still in that range, right? And it wouldn't surprise me if he ends up leaving this free agency. So, and in his mind, he wants to continue to prove that he's a starter, and that's why he might test the market. Wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. But don't trade him just for the sake of trading him to get a fifth round pick out of this. Like, there's just it doesn't make sense. But hey, if they decide to do it at the deadline, I don't think it's not a lose-lose situation here, right? If they decide that they want Cooley to come up and you're going to get a pick out of it, then okay, fine. Just know that you're going to have to go into free agency probably looking for specifically a backup goaltender for Dustin Wolf. So that's how it kind of looks there. So, all right, we'll take a bit of a break here. We will get through an ad read, and then we'll get to other news related, and then we'll wrap it up for the week. So let's do it. Have you played Pick 6 from DraftKings yet? What are you waiting for? You better get on it. And the playoffs are here in the NFL, and they're slowly approaching in the NHL. Time's running out. As of the official daily fantasy sports partner of the NFL and the NHL, DraftKings does fantasy sports like no one else. Play for better payouts on Pick 6. It's super easy to get started. Select 2 or more players. Choose if they'll have more or less of a stat, like touchdowns, yardage, sacks, goals, hits, block shots, whatever it may be, and more. Pick 6 is available in more states, including Missouri, California, Texas, Georgia, and more. And DraftKings is making it even sweeter for first-timers. New Pick 6 customers can play $5 and get $50 in Pick 6 credits. Win more cash on Pick 6. Download DraftKings Pick 6 app now and use code THPN. That's code THPN for new customers to play $5 and get $50 in Pick 6 credits. Only on DraftKings.
We're driven by the search for better. But when it comes to hiring, the best way to search for a candidate isn't to search at all. Don't search, match with Indeed. Indeed is your matching and hiring platform with over 350 million global monthly visitors, according to Indeed data, and a matching engine that helps you find quality candidates fast. Ditch the busy work. Use Indeed for scheduling, screening, and messaging so you can connect with candidates faster. Leveraging over 140 million qualifications and preferences every day, Indeed's matching engine is constantly learning from your preferences, so the more you use Indeed, the better it gets. Join more than 3.5 million businesses worldwide that use Indeed to hire great talent fast. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/Blue Wire. Just go to Indeed.com/Blue Wire right now and support our show by saying that you heard about Indeed on this podcast. That's Indeed.com/Blue Wire. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? You need Indeed.
Pick 6. The crown is yours. All right. Other news we got for you today. Pretty funny one that I saw last night. So Devils ended up beating the Bruins yesterday, I think 5-1, right? All of this hate now, all of a sudden, is starting to show on Elias Lindholm. Okay. And I have to find it again. I definitely saved it. but I want to find it because it's really freaking funny to see how many Bruins fans are already sick of Elias Lindholm. So, bad night for him. A lot of people saying like he's a third line center, he's third rated this, he's this, and this, blah, blah, blah. And it's gotten pretty ugly there in Bruins land. So I can't find it somewhere on my thingy here, but anyway, I'm going to bring it up on my phone here because I wanted to showcase it. The one that I saw was that like he's a straight up third line center. So not important, but I think it's hilarious that he gets signed by a 7x7.5-ish and and everybody is against him now, right? Because the Bruins are slowly falling out of a playoff spot. You're getting a lot of these other teams, like the Canadians are 13-3-1 in their last 17 games. You got the Senators coming up. The Jackets aren't going anywhere. Like all of a sudden you're getting teams like the Bruins and the Rangers who are falling out. And specifically looking at Boston, it's like, man, like Zadorov's not helping you guys and Lindholm's not doing anything for them. So I think it's kind of really funny that, we were able to get that big of a package for Lindholm, right? He did decent in Vancouver. They couldn't re-sign him, okay? It probably would have been worse if he was there. And then all of a sudden he goes to Boston and it's become a complete dumpster fire there, right? They fire the head coach and Jim Montgomery and it's just nothing circulating with this team. So I think it's really funny. And the fact that we got so much out of him, like the best possible package, getting that first round pick, getting Bruce Stevich, getting Kuzmenko, even though it hasn't turned out well, which is okay. It was a risk, right? Flipping one of those picks into multiple picks in last year's draft, like it was so hilarious that's how it evidently worked out. So I hope he gets better and I get it, but I just ultimately think it's really, really funny at the end of the day. One other note I wanted to bring up was OHL prospects. If you look, and maybe I can actually bring it up on my end, but the OHL leaders right now in points alone, okay? The top 3 players in the OHL who lead in points, not even points, maybe I'm looking at the wrong season here. Top prospects, maybe is what it is. I'd have to find it again. Anyway, 3 of your guys here are playing really, really well in the OHL. Luke Misa, Jacob Battaglia, and Henry Muse. 3 guys who are lighting it up right now. And Zane Parekh isn't that far behind. And I'm actually fortunate that I get to see, because for those of you who don't know, Henry Muse, who was playing for the Ottawa 67s, got traded to the Sudbury Wolves at the OHL deadline, hence why I'm here, and hence I actually get to go watch him tomorrow night. And I'm excited about this kid because I think he was a huge steal in this draft, and I think he's going to be a really good defenseman coming up for the Flames. I'm really excited to see what he's able to do. So, like Luke Misa, Battaglia, he's up there in 11th right now for Kingston in terms of stats. So he's having a good year. He's played 42 games, 25 goals, 33 assists. For Muse, he's right behind him too. Just outside of the top 10. That's what it was here. Okay. Getting my shit together, I promise. Outside of the top 10 in the OHL, 11th, 12th, and 13th are all Flames prospects, right? Again, you have Battaglia, you have Muse, and then you also have, oh my God, I'm blanking. Who's the other one here? This bothers me because now all of a sudden, like, computer's frozen, nothing's working. I don't know why. Sorry, guys, just give me a second here because all of a sudden my whole screen has frozen here. Of course, like right when you're recording too, right? Friggin' ridiculous. Okay. Oh my God, there we go. Holy frig. We're back. Not the greatest show today. That's okay. Battaglia, Muse, and Misa. Thank you. Okay. So Battaglia, already mentioned, 25 goals, 33 assists. You got Henry Muse with 12 goals, 46 assists. Luke Misa, who has a plus 24 on the plus minus, has 24 goals, 33 assists. Zane Parekh isn't that far below. He's sitting there in 25th. Also having a good year, though, too. But Liam Greentree doing great for Windsor. Michael Misa, I mean, just seeing some of these guys here. Karen Walton, I've seen before, who plays for Sudbury, has had a tremendous year for the Wolves. But those three guys, the fact that they're lined up the way they are, and they're all three of them are having really good seasons, is stunning, and it's great to see. So I'm excited to watch Henry Muse tomorrow night, Flames prospect in Sudbury. They're taking on London. They might get slaughtered, but it is what it is. So I'm excited to see that. And then the last bit of news for today, not a real important one here, but just I don't know if you guys saw with McDavid's suspension how the Oilers released a statement. Like, Tyler Myers' team, or the Canucks, never released a statement either. So I don't really understand what the point was, or if there is a point to doing that. So not a lot of huge news there, but just thought I'd bring it up. So yeah, that's basically it, guys, for today. Just wanted a quick rundown on Sabres game tonight, and then a couple little tidbits for today. So hopefully you guys can check this out. We'll be back out on Monday again with Neil back in the lineup here, and it's a short one today, and that's gonna be it for me. I got to go back to work. Thought I'd quickly record this and get right back to work under THPN. So should be good. Thanks, guys, for listening, and we will see you all again on Monday. Apologies for the delays today too with the with all my computer issues. Of course, it happened today, but that's all right. We'll chat to everybody again on Monday, and we'll see you then. Peace.